Hey y'all, it's Tia Boo. Thanks for joining me for this tutorial. This tutorial is going to be over the pink and gold holiday winter set that I recently posted. So let's get into it. I pre-etched and buffed 5 tips. They are size 0 and a medium to long coffin. I typically don't use that size for orders, so I usually save it for tutorials or practice. This Azure Yellow in number 7007 came in a pastel collection off of Amazon. I'm using this as my base for my gold glitter press. You can really use any color base, but I typically try to use the same color as the glitter. That way it's more seamless. I cured that for 30 seconds. I am now using a white from a Beatles collection. It's from the St. Patrick's Day collection. I got that from Amazon as well. And I'm curing that for 30 seconds. I will add on a second base, or second layer if you will, for both colors. But for my glitter press, I won't cure it. And you'll see why once we get to that step. Some of the video will be in real time and some will be sped up. The parts where I am applying the polish, it will be sped up. If anyone needs a more detailed video on how to apply gel polish, I can make one, but for saving time purposes, it's not necessary for the video. This is I believe that's an eyeshadow brush. Got it from Target for 99 cents. I use it for my pigment nails and my glitter presses. So again, I noticed that the second layer I did not cure. This is still a wet base. With glitter presses, it is very crucial that you do not sprinkle the glitter on or you don't smear the glitter on. Notice that I am dabbing in my glitter, applying it to the nail. Dab again, dab again, dab again. This is crucial for a glitter press on. You go all over the nail. Now some may wonder or ask, well, why not just pour it on, or why not just glide the glitter on, because it will not stick. You want to make sure as you're dabbing it, you're putting a little bit of pressure and it's adhering to the glitter base, or the gel base rather. So I go around many times because I love coverage. I want to make sure that every part of the nail is covered. So I go around it maybe a time or two until I feel like it's completely covered. You dab off any excess glitter. You want to take a lint-free wipe as well, or a lint-free cloth of some sort, and wipe off your brush too. You want to make sure you have a clean brush before you actually do the glitter press into the nail. Now usually with a glitter press, you can start off with strokes, long strokes, and that's pressing the glitter into the nail even more. But I start off dabbing it into the nail first. I wipe off my brush in between, and then at the very end I will do long strokes. And you'll notice that the metallic layer look, it'll be a layered look, it won't be textured. You can kind of already see that at the top compared to the bottom. Now I'll end up speeding it up in a little bit because I do go over it twice with the dab, and then I go back and do the strokes. See how it's very flat? So after you flattened out your press, you want to go ahead and do a final cure for 60 seconds. This nail here is going to be my base for the Swirl Peppermint. I am now applying a velvet top coat. You always want to do a velvet top coat, no white preferably, if you're going to do any 2D or 3D or some type of art on the nail. And wipe off any excess glitter from your glitter press. Notice I didn't top coat it. I'll end up top coating it later in the video. But I just wanted to start getting my bases out the way. You'll see me do 2 blue bases. These will be for the snowflakes. Curing for 30 seconds for the first layer, 60 seconds for the final layer. There's so many different techniques being done in this video, so it may seem a little all over the place. You'll see me start one nail and then you won't see me work on that nail until maybe almost the very end of the video. Like for example, this nail is for the sweater nail. This base of this nail by itself takes 3 steps. So this nail you'll see me work on throughout the whole video. Well, 4 steps total if you count the sweater design, but as far as just for the base alone, it's going to take at least 3 steps. I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds. You could do 60 seconds because that was very pigmented already. And that is sped up. I did not polish that part of the nail that fast. I do take my time when it comes to the painting. You will see me paint in real time too throughout the video. I'm a painter at heart. I've been painting and drawing consistently since 2nd grade. So the straight lines and things like that kind of comes natural. But of course it won't be perfect. But it does take a lot of time and practice and patience if you want to get your lines straightened. Okay, so I did end up going back to do a 2nd coat. I couldn't remember if I did or not. Okay. So you'll also see with the blue nails, those are also going to be my canvases again for the snowflakes. You want those to be matte as well. Any art you're going to do, you want to have a matte nail. And all products will be listed in the description box below. So you guys will be able to see what all I'm using in the video. I may show you in the video, I may not, but there's going to be some times where I may be out of the frame a little bit by accident. So with this sweater nail, I was applying the velvet or the matte top coat. Now I'm adding on the gel top coat for the glitter press. Now for the glitter press, you want a thick layer of your top coat. So I usually kind of float it around at the top and then bring it down. Notice that I'm going to have a nice amount and then bring it down. And then do a final cure for that for 60 seconds, and then our glitter press will be done. Alright, so now for the fun part, painting. So I'm using an iGel Beauty in white from their paint collection, the gel paint collection. And the brush, detail brush, is from a pack of 4 or 5, I believe. From Beetles, that's also on Amazon. I believe that brush size is 5. I'm going to keep the painting in real time. That way you guys can see the application process in detail. I take my time. I take my time when it comes to doing such detailed designs like a snowflake or something like that, because it can easily be messed up. But at the same token, nothing's perfect. You just want to look decent. And it doesn't take a lot of paint at all. I'm literally just using Access paint off the rim of that pod. So this paint's going to last me a long time, and you really don't need a lot. Now, when you're painting and you notice a little drop or a little glob starting to form on your brush, do not use that. You want to go back and wipe off that excess glob, because it will mess it up. You'll have one big side, half of your snowflake will be big and then the other will be small. So you either have to start over or make the whole snowflake big. And it's no good. I try to keep the nail too at a natural angle, as if I'm doing it on someone. And you want to try to do that when you're practicing, because if you're swirling the nail around, that's not realistic. You can't turn your client's hand in, 360. So I try to keep it to where if I was practicing on someone in real life, that way the execution is more accurate and better. Once I do my lines, I do a flash cure of 10 seconds before applying more detail on the snowflake. So after I finish with this snowflake, I do a final cure for 60 seconds before starting the next one. But I ended up working on the next nail. The way that the video footage was done, it kind of skipped over to the next nail. I did do this one a little bit different to see if it'll save time. It was kind of about the same. I ended up doing the base of the snowflakes for both, and then I ended up carrying, and then went back and added the details, but it was about the same timing. I do wish that I went over that top one a little bit more, but it's okay. I showed this one in real time too, but then I ended up speeding it up, I believe, later on, since we already went over this technique. Yeah, so I do end up speeding it up. I will add small dots too to represent, you know, a little snow, and then I will do a final cure of 60 seconds for the full design. This is a dotting tool. This is the smallest of the dotting tools that come in a 3 or 4 pack. I've had these dotting tools since I started, and I believe 2017, 2018. These dotting tools are super old, but they still get the job done. They're so pretty. Now I am applying the velvet or matte top coat. This is vital, so whatever designs you want to do, all of that, cure it 60 seconds, add your top coat, and then you'll be ready to do your other snowflake that I'll show you. That will be 3-dimensional. This is the second part of the sweater nail. What I did was also another glitter press for that strip. Again, the way that the footage was set up, I don't think I showed that part on camera. I may have. The footage was just all over the place, y'all. When I was trying to do the editing and trying to record, this tutorial, as far as the editing, was a nightmare. It was definitely a nightmare. So it may or may not be shown in the tutorial. I'm literally watching this as I do the voiceover for the first time. So so it may or may not show in the video. If it doesn't, it's the same process as I did with the glitter press for the gold nail. Same process. And now I'm doing this first layer of blue, curing that for 60 seconds. So now moving on to the 3D snowflake. I took some of the same gel polish and just put on a little palette there. And doing the same thing, creating the snowflake. I did do this in real time as well, just so you guys could see it. I tried to get as close as possible since it's the same color as the background, so it could be hard for some to see, but hopefully this is clear enough for you guys. I am using am I still using the same brush? Yeah, I'm still using the same brush. I don't think I use a different size until I get to the sweater nail. Now the key is too with this, once you add the design, you want to go over it again. You'll go over it again, that way the whole snowflake is wet before applying the clear acrylic. Because if you just apply it, and if you cure it and then apply the rest of your design, half of your design is going to be wet, so it's going to only pick up half of the snowflake's going to only pick up some of the acrylic. So add more little snowflake details with my dotting tool, and then I'll show you guys how to apply the clear acrylic for the 3D effect. So yeah, actually, yeah, you could. Yeah, it just depends. If you want to, with the snowflake, let's say it's not pigmented enough, once you do the lines, you can cure it and then go back over it again. That way the whole snowflake is wet for this part here in the video. If you feel like it's already pigmented enough, then there's no need to cure it. You can do the whole snowflake in one setting, but just be careful to make sure that it doesn't start to bleed or, you know, glob into each other, anything like that. So work in thin coats. You want to make sure that you saturate the nail with the powder. One way to know that is if none of the paint that's applied is shiny. Cured it for 60 seconds, and then I'm now dusting off the excess. Wow. So pretty. Alright, so same thing I'm doing here, but sped up now. Notice on the other nail I didn't have the white dots because I ended up top coating it before adding it on, so it's okay. I saturate my nails. Alright, working on the sweater nail again. Applying the matte top coat. This is after 2 layers of the blue already. Once that cures for 60 seconds, the base for the sweater will be finally done. Now with the sweater nail, I didn't do any flash curing. I believe after my lines I did. But applying these 2 lines and then the swirl line here, I just kept going. I didn't do any flash curing. I was very careful. But if you know that you may run into the other line or something like that, your best bet is to do a flash cure. This would be better safe than sorry. And I go over how many curves I have so it's equal to the other side. So I work with both the pink and blue brush on this nail. If you're working with longer lines, you want a longer bristle. Shorter lines or more detailed lines like this with the curves, you want a shorter bristle. Now you can freehand the hearts here like I do, or you can use a dotting tool. Just apply 2 dots and then you connect them that way. I've created hearts both ways. It's just easier for me just to use my brush and do it like this. I get straight lines. I get the base of the shape in first to make sure I have enough room for however many I want, and then I go back in and thicken them up. Yeah, I don't end up flashing. I don't end up flash carrying anything on this nail. I thought I did, but I don't think so. Alright, back to our dotting tool. Using the smaller end of the dotting tool. That's the only side I really use throughout the whole set. Sorry, it's a little out of focus. At least the first part of it wasn't focused. That way you guys can see at least what I'm doing. I go back to edit. You don't have to worry about it getting caught in the glitter press or anything like that. It won't. So if you accidentally go over it like I am, it's okay. Because it's nothing sticky. Whatever's sticky, that's what it will adhere to. If it's not sticky, it won't adhere to it. So that's okay. Always dab off any excess here for 60 seconds. And then you're going to take your brush and wipe off any excess. See how the footage is? So I'm telling you, like the way that it was set up, it was just all over the place. So it's showing you different parts. Different parts of where I left off at. But at the same token, like I said in the beginning, I was working on different nails all at the same time, so it makes sense. This part here, now to the swirl peppermint. I had so much fun doing this nail. This was probably my favorite nail to do out of all 5 of them. You always want to start at the center. You want to start at the center of the nail and do your curves as such. When you're picking up your gel paint or your gel polish or whatever you're using to paint your design on, you want to start in the color, but then kind of stroke your brush out and then proceed to paint. Never just pick it up straight out of the puddle of the paint, because again, you may have like a glob of some sort, and you do not want that, especially when you're doing line work. You can kind of see it in the palette. It's not in focus, but you can kind of see what I'm doing down there with the brush. I do flash cure in between my lines. And I believe I'm going to do another flash cure, I think, in between adding your next set of lines. Yeah, that's it. I think that's what I ended up doing. And you want to use your shorter bristle to color in your lines. The long bristle is not for coloring in, or filling in rather. You want to use your shorter bristle for that. Now don't worry if it's a little opaque at first. You'll end up, if you like, you can end up going back over it with a second coat, and that's what I end up doing. Now with this one, with the swirl, it was a little difficult trying to keep it, you know, straightforward as if you're doing it on a real person. I mean, it wasn't that difficult, but I noticed that I started to rotate it a lot, or was wanting to rotate it a lot. But I had to think like, no, let me keep it straight, especially for the video purpose and then for reality as well. In case I was to ever do this on someone. But I mean, it's okay too to flip it 360 and stuff, especially if you're just practicing, having fun, and probably don't plan on doing that on anyone. It's totally okay. But this here, I may or may not either do on myself or my sister. Yeah, I ended up flipping it all around. Crazy. Kinda. Okay, so I ended up curing for 30 seconds. It is a little opaque, so I end up going back over the swirl with a second coat. I also switched my brush back to my longer bristle. Yeah, this was definitely my favorite nail. So you do a final cure on the design for 60 seconds. I am now applying the Beetles Gel Top Clear Coat. You do not cure this. You apply it, and this is where we add our glitter to make it texture or that sugary look. The glitter was from Amazon, it came in a pack, it was a gift. Look at that. Final cure for 60 seconds.